Hello everyone, my name is Muskan Siddiqui and my roll number is 205079. Today I am going to present on the topic graph theory in the discrete mathematics. So graph theory. Firstly, I have to explain what is graph theory in discrete mathematics. Graph theory is the study of the graph. A graph is determined as a mathematical structure that represents a particular function by connecting a set of points. It is used to create a pairwise relation between objects. The graph is made of vertices, nodes that are connected by the edges lines. The application of the linear graph are used not only in maths but also in other fields such as computer science, physics, chemistry, linguistics, biology, etc. In real life, also the best example of graph structure is GPS, where you can track the path or know the direction of the road. So, what is graph? In mathematics, a graph is a pictorial representation of any data in an organized manner. The graph shows the relationship between variable quantities. In a graph theory, the graph represents a set of the objects that are related in some sense to each other. The objects are basically mathematical concepts expressed by vertices or nodes, and the relationship between the pair of nodes are expressed by edges. So history here is the history of a graph theory state. It was introduced by the famous Swiss mathematicians named Leonhard Euler to solve many mathematical problems by constructing graph based on given data or a set of points. The graphical representation shows different types of data in the form of bar graphs, frequency, table, lines, circle graph, line plot, etc. Graph theory is the study of point and lines, and mathematics it is a subfield that deals with the study of graphs. It is a pictorial representation that represents the mathematical truth. Graph theory is the study of relationship between the vertices, nodes, and edges, that is lines. Formally, a graph is denoted as a pair G V of A in G of VE, where V represents a finite set vertices and E represent the finite set edges. Therefore, we can say a graph includes non-empty sets of vertices V and sets of edges E. Here we can see the example. So, suppose a graph G is equals to VE, where vertices V is equals to ABCD and edges E, AB, AC, BC and CD. So coming towards the types of graphs, the graphs are basically of two types, directed and undirected. It is best understood by the figure given below. The arrow in the figure indicates the direction. We can see here unidirected graph, undirected graph and directed graph. So what is directed graph? In graph theory, a directed graph is a graph made up of a set of vertices connected by edges in which the edges have a direction associated with them. Undirected graph. The undirected graph is defined as a graph where the set of nodes are connected together in which all the edges are bidirectional. Sometimes this type of graph is known as unidirectional network. Other types of graph, that is null graph, simple graph, multigraph, connected graph, disconnected graph and cycle graph. Null graph, a graph that doesn't have edges. Simple graph, a graph that is undirected and does not have any loop or multiple edges. Graph, a graph with multiple edges between the same set of vertices, it has loop formed. Connected graph, a graph where any two vertices are connected by a path. Disconnected graph, a graph where any two vertices or nodes are disconnected by a path. Cycle graph, a graph that completes a cycle. So properties of graph. The starting point of the network is known as root, and second is when the same types of nodes are connected to one another, then the graph is known as the assortative graph, else it is called as disassortative graph. A cycle graph is said to be a graph that has a single cycle. When all parts of nodes are connected by a single edge, it forms a complete graph. A complete graph is said to be a symmetry when each pair of vertices or nodes are connected in the same direction or in the reverse direction. When a graph has a single graph, it is a path graph. So here is trees, degrees and cycle of graph. A cycle is a closed path in a graph that forms a loop when the starting and ending point is the same in a graph that contains a set of vertices. Thank you so much.